Hello, people. It's me, Igorro. So glad you could make it for another Horrah of Aurora. I'm not gonna waste any time. We're just gonna cut right to it. So let's take a look and see what the first Aurora kit is. Take a guess, right? It is the wolf man. Hacha! It's got a goblin right there. Again, you know, I will clean him. I will. I just am busy, okay? It takes a while to get going on these. And he is dusty. It's Lon Chaney Jr. as the Wolfman. Now again, the kit doesn't exactly look like the movie. Not exactly. There are elements though. It's still super cool. And it's a lot different even than the cover. Now here's an interesting thing about the cover of the Wolfman. Curse of the Werewolf, a Hammer film, was distributed by Universal Pictures. And somewhere along the line, they decided to, well, kind of make him look like Oliver Reed and Curse of the Werewolf and a little bit of, you know, the Wolfman from the 1941 Universal. But on the cover, clearly looks a lot more like the Wolfman from the Curse of the Werewolf. But anyway, here is the Wolfman. And again, there are things about it I love. I'm not totally disappointed with the work that I did. Again, this is an older kit. No date on it. Oops. Oh, again, lost my cape. Ooh, stay away from me. I'm in the shower. Anyway, I digress. Yes, this is the Wolfman. I need to replace one little tail. Is the rat tail got a little... The Wolfman gnawed it off. Probably broke off in storage. But I've also thought about, if anybody knows, you know, I know you can always replace the Aurora kits, but I'm wondering if there's some type of mold or putty that you can use to resculpt them. Let me know if you guys have an idea. You know, just put it down there on the comments. Anyway, this is the Wolfman. Here's the other strange thing about it. He's got this Beverly Hillbillies rope thing going on. He never had a rope in his belt, ever. He was barefoot. The Wolfman had a very unique tippy-toe kind of wolf. The first transition in the Wolfman, 1941, was his feet. That's when we first transformed. And when he turned into the wolf, they got up on tippy toes. Because a wolf, you know, runs mostly on his toes. So yes, I'm not really sure what's going on. I went black with the pants because he actually wore like black construction pants or like a dress pants, sort of, I guess, in the original Wolfman. And then he had a black shirt. And of course they just went, oh, no shirt at all. He's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He'll be back. He's all muscled up. He's all buff. He's been working out at the Wolfman gym. I don't know why they did that. He was never without a shirt. But the face is Lon Chaney. You can see Lon Chaney in there. And again, I will do a close-up of this. As I'm talking now, we'll see the close-up, it'll be in color. But yeah, this is the Wolfman, and again, I do like the work of this kit. It's very simple. Again, the focus is on the Wolfman. Mike Hill, who is a sculptor down in Monsterpalooza, made life-size replicas of these, and I have captured some film of them somewhere, but I can't find it. I don't know what happened to it, but he did an awesome job recreating these life-size Aurora models. So there is the Wolfman 1941. Cool. Oh, here we go. Bela Lugosi as Dracula. I'm Dracula. I'm Dracula. Welcome to my home. I never drink. Why? So this is my Bela Lugosi Dracula. Now, I made a fatal flaw with this Lugosi Dracula. Always been confused about what's going on with this man's cape. I've asked people about it, no one knows. Even when I watch him, initially he has several costumes in Dracula, the original. This is the 31 version. The cover, as I said before though, was taken from Abbott and Costello Meets Dracula, with the castle in the background and the bat in the window and his cape. It's a very beautiful rendition that James Palmer did but it's clearly from Abbott Costello Meets Dracula. And of course, as I said before, it upset people. They said the kit must look like the model, must look like the cover. So they changed it after, I think, this one. But what I did here, and I do have a reissue that I might rebuild, but I took off the fronts. And I took the red lining out, even though it would have been white lining. But I want to go back to the red lining, and I want to put the folds over. So my guess is, when I remember seeing this movie, and help me out on this one, when he's coming down the stairs when he first meets Renfield, he has the cape that looks similar to this, and he's wearing the medallion, which he wears through most of the film, and then there's a transition in his costume where he does no longer wear the medallion. He's still in the tux, but he has the longer cape, like this cape, right? And in this part, I thought, is he just draping his cape over? Like this? Is that what he's doing here? Because when you watch the film, it's like you can't quite tell what's going on with his cape when he's on the stairwell. But it's clearly, this is what they were modeling after, is that beginning, that opening shot when you first see Lugosi come down the stairs. But I've always been confused about the cape, so I thought, I'm just gonna take the cape off, the front folds off, and not paint them red, just keep them black. Even though the lining was red, I thought, well, maybe, I don't know what I was thinking. It's not as bad as the Gold Hunchback, but it's close. It's just a bad idea. So I have regrets about doing that kind of work with this Lugosi Dracula, but I am going to, like I said, I'm going to build the reissue of this one, and I probably will end up painting the inside lining, and you know, I really do wish I could find those folds because I would like to glue them back on. So that was my mistake. But it's always been confusing to me about what exactly went on with this cape for this Dracula. I would have loved to have seen him just do his long cape with it blowing in the wind, you know. They are so good at capturing the movement of the capes and stuff, which is why I don't like cloth on the Sideshow collectibles. I like the actual, you know, excuse me. Pardon me. Please keep the cape. Don't start putting fancy Liberace clothing on them and stuff. Just keep it, come on. Please keep it real. But anyway, I do love this model. There's a few things that are missing. I believe a spider goes right here, where there's a little hole for him. And like I said, I need to clean him and repaint him here and there. But I do like the painting work on him, other than the cape. I like the bats, I like the tree, it's in all good shape. And I think this is probably one that was purchased in the 70s, not the original one. I think I did have the original one. Well, I know I did, I got it for Christmas, I remember as a little man in my old home in Transylvania, Aberdeen, Transylvania. I remember getting it, and it was the best Christmas of my life. I couldn't be happier. I got Flintstone Builders and Dracula. What else does one need? For our third and final today, ooh, it's the creature from the Black Lagoon. Look at his head, he's got a lot of... Look at that dust! Holy moly! This one's more dusty than the rest of them. It's super dusty. I think this was one that came out in either the late 70s or early 80s. I'm not even sure if they came out in the 80s, so it might be a 70s one. I don't think it's original. The creature, though, was the first Aurora kit I ever got, was the creature from the Black Lagoon. I like the work I did on it. I think I will repaint it a little bit and do a little more variance in color and stuff on the base. But I remember I was a little Igorro, and I had my mom's friend's son painted it for me, and my father built it, helped me build it. But the guy put blood coming out of his mouth. It was all the way down here, came all the way down his body. The whole thing was drenched in blood. Because that's what you did when you were a kid, right? He was about, I don't know, he was probably 12, 13. He's like, here, I'll tell you what to do. And he just made it look like blood was, he looked like the Shining twins with the axes in the hallway. He just had blood all over him. And I thought, even as a kid, I thought, I don't remember the creature ever looking quite that bloody. And keep in mind, when I was a little tyke, I hadn't even seen the Creature movie yet. It wasn't available. I think they eventually showed it on Nightmare Theater, my horror show when I was a little tyke in the Pacific Northwest, the Cairo Count. But anyway, it didn't happen till later. I'm sure I wasn't into my teens until I actually saw The Creature from the Black Lagoon. I only saw stills from Famous Monsters magazine. The Creature from the Black Lagoon is a classic, and it's such a great movie. He is clearly kind of the last of the Universal monsters. I've met Rico Browning. He's a wonderful man. He was able to hold his breath for minutes on end. He was a heavy smoker too, which is weird. But he was a little guy. He was not extremely tall. So when you see him underwater, it's Rico Browning. With no eyes, because he needed to see something. They tried wearing goggles and stuff, didn't work. So he had to go down there, but they had to pop the eyes out of the mask. And then Ben Chapman played the creature on land. So he would, and he was a tall guy, he was like 6'4", 6'5". They originally asked Glenn Strange to play the creature, but he was a horrible swimmer and he said, no, I'll pass. Not realizing, and maybe they didn't either, at the time, that Ben Chapman would never be underwater. It would always be Rico Browning. So when you see Rico underwater, the creature, that's Rico Browning. And even when Julie Adams is swimming across the water and he's chasing her, that woman's a different woman underwater as well. But it was down in Florida. So every time they go underwater, Richard Denning, Richard Carlson, Julie Adams, all different actors underwater. They're more trained professional swimmers that are under there. And Rico is one of them. And I asked Rico, I said, how did you do it? How did you hold your breath? And he said, well, he was just used to doing it. So he swam underwater. And to give them scale, as just a swimmer, they we need to get some scale to see what this body would look like down there. And they liked the way he swam. So they said, hey, buddy, do you want to be the creature from the Black Lagoon? And he said, okay. So that's how he got the job. And he said that he wore the mask and they put it on him. And they had to take the eyes out, and then he would swim over to an oxygen tank. He would push a tube through the mask, hold it, and then start swimming. I would be so claustrophobic, I could not do that. And he had to press the mask to get all the air bubbles out of the mask. And if you notice in Revenge of the Creature, when the creature walks among us, they didn't care so much about that. So you see bubbles coming out of the top of the mask and everywhere. But in the original Creature, you don't see any of that at all. So that is some of the cool stuff about the creature from the Black Lagoon. Next week, I will start working on my new episode, which I am so excited about. A new hosted full feature movie. So keep your eyes open and your mouth closed and your nose just open enough so you can breathe, because I don't want you dying when you're watching my movie. Because that would spoil the fun. I'll see you soon.